They call it the city that never sleeps. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up.
We see Peter Parker talking with his Aunt May, but Aunt May is worried because it's clear something is troubling Peter. Peter explains that he keeps having the same nightmare over and over, a nightmare about being in prison with his enemies, but not knowing which side of the bars he's on.
I never know in the dream, Aunt May. I never know if I'm the prisoner or not.
Peter tells her that he keeps thinking about how many times he's sent villains like the Vulture to prison, and about this one time when stopping the Vulture wasn't up to him, but to a cop on the scene who had a gun pointed at him.
The cop let the Vulture go and said something to me. Do you know what?
That's your job.
That's your job. The exact same words I used to excuse myself from stopping the thief that would later kill Uncle Ben.
Peter then tells her how he's tired of the villains escaping from prison, which makes him question whether he's really making a difference out there. But Aunt May calms him down, reminding him how Uncle Ben would be so proud of him and how much the city needs him. She suggests that he share his story with the world, that he needs to tell them why Peter Parker is Spider-Man and what drives him to do this. Peter disagrees, showing her the Daily Bugle newspaper and telling her that the city's perception of him is already bad. Aunt May, however, explains once again that people fear what they don't understand, and that he needs to share his story with the city, because it's already changing lives. She tells him to recognize how much richer their lives are because of the price Peter has paid to be Spider-Man. After some thought, Peter agrees and goes directly to Jonah Jameson. Jonah gets mad and instructs others to call the police, but Spider-Man calms him down, telling him that he came to make an offer that might change his career.
In exchange for my true identity, I want the first 3 pages of the Wednesday edition.
For what?
I want to tell my story. You've smeared me pretty good over the years, and I want to tell my side.
Jonah thinks about it and agrees. Peter then takes the pen out of his mouth and decides to sign the deal, while Jonah keeps looking at him, realizing that if Spider-Man lies, it will only confirm his stories that Spider-Man can't be trusted. And that's when the big day comes, and the newspaper gets published. Peter tells everyone that tomorrow he will reveal his identity, but before he can do that, he wants to tell the world who he really is. He says that he's a New Yorker and how he used to look up to everyone, how Jonah is wrong about him and his supposed desire to harm anyone, how he never wanted to be a hero, and how he only wanted to be liked, to be a part of the crowd.
For so many years, I have kept my identity a secret because I was afraid that if people knew who I really was, my enemies would strike at those closest to me. I'm afraid my family will now be in danger. I'm afraid that from tomorrow on, their lives will be that much harder. But they told me to tell you anyhow.
Back in Peter's apartment, we see Mary Jane reading the newspaper. She starts joking, while Peter tells her that after tomorrow, she and Aunt May will only be safe in the Avengers mansion. When night comes, Peter tries to sleep but doesn't manage to close his eyes all night.
Did you have the dream again?
No.
See? It's already working.
Peter then suits up and goes to Jonah, and that's when we see a huge crowd that is already gathered to witness the reveal. But when Jonah comes near him, he realizes that
We love you, Spider-Man!
Spider-Man, New York needs you!
We got you, buddy!
most of the crowd decided to dress up as Spider-Man to support him and to help keep his identity a secret.
No!
My name is Alan Schmidt, Mr. Jameson. I'm Spider-Man.
My name is Gregory Hansen.
I'm Jimmy D,
Jameson.
Mr. J.
I am a
I'm the real
butcher,
Spider-Man.
and I am Spider-Man.
Ah, what is this?
Hi, Jonah. I'm Peter Parker, and I'm Spider-Man.
Get your butt out of there, Parker. I won't be made a fool of by my own employees.
Jonah runs off, complaining about how this city has gone bad, while Peter, with tears in his eyes, simply tells himself,
I'm one of you.
He then gets stunned when he notices Officer John Brimson, the same officer who didn't stop the Vulture, dressed up as Spider-Man too. Finally, at the end, we see them reading the Daily Bugle again, with Jonah's article about how Spider-Man brainwashed New York City displayed on the front page. After this, Mary Jane and Peter go to bed, and for the first time in a long while, Peter instantly falls asleep.